Welcome to Intuitive Flow. I'm your host, Mikaela Filar, intuitive energetic healer, medium, entrepreneur, and mindset mentor with a mission to help you step into your fullest potential by giving you the tools to rid yourself of limiting beliefs, love yourself unconditionally, and create the reality that you dream of living. It is time to transform your mindset, get unstuck, and step into the highest frequency version of yourself who has unshakable confidence. I am even answering your juiciest questions regarding all things intuition, manifestation, personal development, self-love, self-image, and helping you work through your dilemmas, intuitively guiding you to expand your mindset and level up in life. So turn up the volume and get excited for this intuitive flow. Hey guys, welcome back to Intuitive Flow with Mikaela Filar. It's Mikaela. I'm so excited to be back with you today because we have such a juicy episode for you. And it's one of those where when you know, you can't unknow type of episodes. So we're diving into one of the most underrated, misunderstood, and completely life-altering universal laws today. And that universal law is, drumroll, the universal law of reflections, okay? If you have ever asked, why is this happening to me? This episode is about to blow your mind. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to explain a couple things, okay? Number one, stop blaming God, source, universe. It is not their fault. They are not testing you. You are creating the test. Let me repeat that again. This is radical responsibility. You are creating the test. It is not God, source, universe. We have free will, okay? So because we have free will, it is not up to God, source, universe. Like, they are not sending us signs. We are creating the signs. And oftentimes, like, okay, I've been hearing this more often than late, is people saying like, oh, if I see, like, please, universe, give me a sign, God, source, universe, give me a sign. If I see a purple dragon today, then that means I should go and do whatever, XYZ, right? That means I should invest in this, or that means I should go back to my ex-boyfriend, or that means whatever it is, okay? And here's the thing with that. Because of the universal law of focus, whatever you focus on, you get. Whatever you focus on, you get more of, okay? So if you're focused on purple dragons, you're gonna find a fucking purple dragon sooner or later, okay? Period, end of story. You created that. Whatever you focus on, you will manifest into your life. So it is not God, source, universe testing you. It is you creating the tests. Your higher self is literally creating these quote unquote tests for you to see if you are ready for what you say you want to create or where you want to be in your life. Okay. And it's also very important to remember that if you are focused on one thing, so let's say that going on to, the universal law of focus, and what you focus on, you get more of. Like, I want you to think about this too. If you have, let's say you just broke up with your ex, you just broke up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and they drove a white car. And this car was like let's say it was a white Ford Mustang. I don't know. And now, whenever you drive and you see a white Ford Mustang, you think of that person. The reason that our brain does this is because it loves what is familiar. So it will find things in your reality that are familiar, that are comfortable, or that muster up an emotion that keeps you in a cycle, that keeps you feeling familiar. Why this is important to remember is if we do not catch the things that we are consistently have on repeat in our brain that are not in alignment with where we desire to go or what we desire to create for ourselves, if we are not catching those little things, those little signs, then guess what's going to happen? Your brain is going to continue to find them, to focus on those things, and then you're going to be stuck in a pattern and a cycle that's going to create more of what is keeping you feeling quote unquote stuck. And it's going to create more of what you are not wanting to attract in your life. But the reason that you're attracting it is because you're so used to it, and your ego is in your body is so used to feeling that way, or so used to being stuck or being comfortable, and choosing to do anything different or think any differently is outside of your comfort zone, which then feels like a threat to your body. Okay. And why this is so important to remember is that we gotta, like, when we're seeing things that we don't want to see, aka our ex-boyfriend's car, whenever we see the type of car that they drove, okay, we don't want to see that. We don't want to remember that part. Or maybe we do. Maybe you left on good terms, but that's besides the point. You get what I'm saying here. We want to see where our brain is familiar with things that we don't vibe with anymore, with things that we want to change. And then we've got to shift and heal that so that we can move forward and stop being quote unquote stuck. Okay. But this is all you. Like I said, universal law of free will, God, source, universe, they have their hands out of your life. They are the ones who created your soul contract among, I'm kind of like explaining a little bit of how this works, but like your soul and God, source, universe, whatever word best resonates with you, created a soul contract in your higher self. They're all in cahoots and they planned out what exactly your life is going to be, what your soul path is, what you're meant to do, your trauma, the trials and tribulations that you go through, all of it, every single thing, down to your fucking pinky toenail. They created all of this. And then you get put into a human body and you completely forget what's on your soul contract and you got to fucking figure it out along the way. Okay. So that's what you're doing right now. And if, let's say, okay, your higher self is, I like to call the higher self like the babysitter, because your higher self, it like really keeps you in check. And the reason how it keeps you in check, because obviously, especially if you're not connected to your intuition, you're not going to communicate with your higher self very often. Shit. I mean, if you're here, you definitely believe in higher selves and souls and all the things. Okay. But so I won't even go down that road, but like some people, they just don't even think about it. They don't think that they have that power. Why? Because the powers that be don't want us to know that we have so much power, that we are so powerful, because we have intuition and we have that connection with our higher self, and we can create. Because here's the thing: you have qualities like of your parents, right? You have qualities from your mom and dad. So why wouldn't you have qualities and attributes from your parent energy as well? And that's what I mean by saying, like, we are so capable of creating. We're so capable of connecting to our higher self, of connecting to souls on different realms and all of the things, which is what I teach inside of Awaken Intuition Training Camp. But the reason I'm sharing this with you guys today is because I want you guys to open up your mind and understand that you are fucking in charge. Like, it's not source, God, universe. It is you. It is you, and your higher self is your babysitter, and your higher self is making sure that you are on your highest timeline. And if you are not in alignment with your highest timeline, then your higher self is going to send you what I love to call reflections, which is what we're talking about today, right? So a reflection is, like I said, anything that your higher self sends you to let you know that you're not in alignment with where you say that you want to be, or with what you are desiring to create. Okay. So reflections come in many forms. They come in people, and how they treat you, especially in your relationships. And they also come in your body, so body ailments, physical body ailments. And they also come in situations and circumstances that you find yourself in. So reflections are essentially feedback from your higher self because life mirrors back to you what you believe, what you are available for, and where you're vibrating at. So if you have thoughts that are negative, low vibration thoughts, you're going to get reflections that mirror those thoughts to you. For example, if I'm saying all the time that I am not enough or not worthy, this is just such a big one, so I always come back to it. Well, you're going to manifest situations, experiences, and people into your life who make you feel like you are not enough. And we don't think that we have that much control, but literally, if you just heal, get to the root cause and shift and heal that belief of not enough, you can massively up level your life. Because your higher self, all it's doing is trying to send you these reflections in the form of people, experiences, and situations making you feel like you're enough. They're just sending you these things, these reflections, to let you know that you are enough. Because who is your higher self? What the fuck do I even mean when I say higher self? Well, your higher self is literally you, just without all of the limiting self-beliefs, all of the conditioning from society, all of the ifs, ands, or buts, right? It's just you. It's you on your highest timeline. It's you as your best fucking self. So it doesn't want you to feel shitty about yourself. It doesn't want you to feel like you're not enough. It wants you to know your innate value and worthiness. It wants you to remember how powerful you are. Okay? So it's going to do the thing where it sends you the reflections. And the reason that these reflections are not the fucking vibe, right? They're not what we want, is because if our higher self gave us little like whispered sweet nothings in our ear all the time and said what we wanted it to hear and was nice all the time, like we wouldn't be paying attention to it, right? We wouldn't be doing the work that we know we need to do to shift it because we aren't when we don't get what we want or when our life doesn't look the way that we want it to look, your higher self is going to try and continue to send you signs, aka reflections, letting you know that you can do better, letting you know that you are in control, letting you know that if you want to change your life, the only one that's going to be doing that is yourself. It has nothing to do with God. It is not in God's hands. It is literally in your hands because of the universal law of free will. So, with that being said, you are in charge. I want you to remember this. You are in charge. I don't know why, but I was going to create an entire like masterclass on this, but I just wanted to, I'm just like doing it on the podcast for free 99 because you guys need to know this. Everybody needs to know this. The universal law of reflections is my favorite thing because it truly helped me step out of my victim mindset. And by stepping out of my victim mindset and knowing that I'm in charge of my life, I was able to get off of anti-anxiety and depression medication. And I've been off for almost 3 years now. And I know that reason of that is because I'm able to shift and heal a lot quicker. I have the tools that I need to shift and heal when I am feeling those feelings. It's not like I never get sad or depressed or anxious, right? It's not like that those feelings never come up again. It's just that now when they do come up, I have the tools that I need to shift and heal them. Okay. I have the tools that I need to look in and ask myself, what is this trying to show me? And that right there is fucking magic. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples when it comes to reflections. So money, for instance, like If you are having money reflections like unexpected bills in the mail or never having enough at the end of the month, all of those examples I just gave are reflections. What that is mirroring back to you is your belief that you are not enough, your belief that you never have enough, your belief that everything is expensive and you just can never get ahead, your belief that money doesn't grow on trees. Newsflash, it does. It's literally paper. So it's a scarcity reflection. Shift your mindset around money, shift your self-worth, skyrocket your self-love and self-image. Hashtag plug, hashtag go check out Glowed Up, my self-love and self-image mastery course that's on my website right now. I'm putting it in the show notes below for you. But do that and you'll change your money situation. I remember I've had multiple clients, but I remember the specific client who took Glowed Up and manifested a $2 an hour raise within the first like 4 weeks of her being inside of Glowed Up. I have another student who manifested a $15,000 per year raise at a job that she had literally been at for less than a year. Like when you like level up and skyrocket your self-love and self-image, wild things happen because you believe you're enough. When you believe you're enough, people around you believe you're enough. People want to give you the raise, okay? Because they think that what you do is enough. So on and so forth. Okay. Another example of a reflection would be attracting emotionally unavailable men, okay? Or attracting men who do not put you first. This is a huge reflection that we all know that I struggled with for years. And what is a reflection there? Well, when you are attracting emotionally unavailable men, that's because you are not owning up to all of your emotions. You are not thinking that you being angry, sad, happy, loved, confident, all of it, all of the emotions you could possibly feel, you do not own all of them. You do not feel like a sexy ass babe no matter what emotion is coming up for you. And when you are shoving down your own emotions and you are not owning the emotions as they come through and you're shoving them down or sweeping them under the rug, guess what? That's you being emotionally unavailable to yourself. So if you are emotionally unavailable to yourself, you are going to attract men into your life who are also emotionally unavailable. If you are attracting men who are not putting you first, not prioritizing you, guess what? That's because somewhere in your life, you are not prioritizing yourself. If you're always sick, it's a reflection of, there's so many different types of illnesses that you got to look into, like sinuses or, sore throat, like each symptom is a different type of reflection. When it comes to the body, it gets a little bit more complex. You got to like look at so many different things and also then use your intuition to see what area of life you're specifically doing that. And I teach all about that. Like when it comes to body ailments, I teach all about that inside of Aligned AF. And Aligned AF is my 4-week signature course where I geek out on all things reflections. I go into detail about reflections in the form of people, reflections in the form of experiences and situations you find yourself in, accusation reflections, and I also go into body elements like body reflections. So if you're interested in reflections and you want to become a master over reflections, Aligned AF is the course for you. Now, I always recommend when I talk about Aligned AF is I go into Aligned AF and I teach you guys how to use your intuition on a very basic level. Like there's a bonus module in there as well. That's a $97 value. That's a Intuition 101 Basics class. And so you can, like, you learn how to get your yes and no's, and you also can learn to channel kind of what area of life. And I give you a prompt, a script on how to figure out what each body element means and all the things inside of Aligned AF. And it is also such an incredible gateway to intuition training, awaken intuition training, level 1, because it's a lot easier to trust what you're hearing when it comes to reflections and to speak to your higher self when you are fully in cahoots with your higher self and you. So inside of Awaken Intuition Training Camp Level 1, I do go into what reflections are on such a deeper level. Like, this episode is literally like 0.01% of how much is inside of Awaken and inside of Aligned AF especially. So with that being said, Awaken Intuition Training Camp, there's one module about reflections, and we learn how to debunk our reflections and figure out what they mean inside of Awaken. And then in Aligned AF, I go into literally like mastering the art of reflections and all the different types of reflections that you can get. And that way you're able to really hone in on this law and use it to your advantage. Now, why it's important and why you need to master this universal law is because it will it will save you so much trouble. Like, it will save you so much time and trouble. It is the fucking fast track to manifestation. Once you learn how to see reflections for what they are and then shift and heal them, you will quantum leap because you're not wasting any more time ignoring the signs. And you're going to also be able to avoid like the hard lessons, because reflections really do start very subtle, like a thought, or you stubbing your toe, or you spilling something on the floor, or you getting a stuffy nose. But if you do not listen, then they get louder and louder and louder. And most people stay stuck in loops because they're not recognizing or shifting the reflection. And that's where things can get messy. That is where you get stuck. That is where you stay stuck in a toxic cycle. I'm going to give you an example of a cool reflection, a super awesome reflection that I had last week, actually. So I got a sunburn. And you guys, there is an energetic root cause to literally everything. So me getting a sunburn was a reflection. So I asked myself, well, I asked my higher self, like, what the reflection was. We had a little conversation, and turns out that I had been holding on to some unresolved anger around something that had apparently been bothering me a lot more than I thought that it was in the family area of life. Okay. So that's what a sunburn is. If you if you get a sunburn, know that it is because you were an energetic match for it. The energetic root cause of a sunburn is unresolved anger towards yourself or others. Now, there are 8 different areas of life, and you can use your intuition to see what area of life specifically this reflection was rooted in, so that you can shift, heal it, and then not be an energetic match for the thing that's not the vibe. Okay. So for this instance, a sunburn. So like I said, I got the sunburn, and then I looked into why I was an energetic match. I realized that it was because I needed to get neutral and see how the thing that was bothering me is actually the best thing for me, and how it's actually helping me get closer to what I want and where I want to be in life. And had I not known about this, one, I probably would have harbored onto that anger a lot longer, and it might have blown up in a different way. And also, unresolved anger for a really long period of time it manifests into cancer in the body. If you do not know this, the energetic root cause of cancer is unresolved anger, like massive, massive amounts, and holding that in for a really long time and just never letting it go, like never expressing your emotions, never putting that first. So I don't want to be an energetic match for a sunburn because because I don't want to hold on to the anger, and then I don't want to end up with cancer down the road, right? So also just there's that, and there's also the fact that like this could have affected my relationship with my family had I not seen why it's actually the best thing for me. So I think reflections are literally the best thing since sliced bread. Learning about this truly changed my life. How else can they show up in your life? I mean, unwanted fat is a reflection. Wrinkles are a reflection. You not being looked at the way that you want to be looked at in your career, like you not being acknowledged or you being overlooked in your career is a reflection. Scraping your knee is a reflection. Stubbing your toe is a reflection. Each reflection, each body element has a message from your higher self. And so when you can learn what each body element that you experience means, you're able to shift, heal, and not be an energetic match for that thing to happen for you anymore. It literally helps you take control, okay? So I want you to ask yourself right now, what area of your life feels off? Or like what is going on in your life right now that you are like getting triggered about or like you're just not vibing with? And then I want you to ask yourself, what's it trying to tell you? What is it trying to tell you? There is a message there. What is it trying to tell you? And if you really want to get to the bottom of it, make sure you check out the show notes below. Check out Aligned AF. Also snag Awaken so that you can get in touch with your intuition, your higher self, and have a mastery over your intuition and a mastery over this universal law, because both together, life changing. What to do when you notice reflections in your life? Understand that nothing is happening to you. It is all happening for you. Don't panic. Don't freak out. Get curious and start to ask yourself, like I said, like, what is this trying to tell you? How is everything in your life actually happening for you? How is it the best thing for you? Ask, what belief is this mirroring back to me? Is there something in my energy, in my belief system that isn't helping me get where I want to go? Learn the lesson while it's still a whisper so that you don't have to deal with the big reflections down the road. Learn the lesson while it's still a whisper so that you can manifest whatever it is that you're desiring to manifest a hell of a lot faster. So that you can quantum leap and save a lot of fucking time. If this episode lit something up inside of you, this is exactly what I walk you through inside of Aligned AF, my course on reflections, energetic alignment, and getting out of the toxic cycles once and for all. I teach you how to spot reflections before they manifest into chaos, how to shift them energetically, and how to stay in your power while manifesting your dream reality. And inside of Awaken, if you're ready to tap into the wisdom of your higher self and actually learn how to receive guidance from your intuition, Awaken is your next step. The doors are open until the 20th. Go check out the show notes below. I dropped all of the links for you down below with Glowed Up for self-love and self-image mastery, Aligned AF if you want to master reflections, and Awaken if you are really ready to get into contact with your higher self, learn a little bit about reflections, but mostly learn how to trust yourself on a deep, deep soul level. All right. These are the things that you need to create the life that you have been fucking dreaming about. Get your excuses and throw them off to the side. Step on them and do what you need to do to actually make the moves that you know you need to create the life that you've been daydreaming about. This episode was a little masterclass on one of my favorite laws and biggest game changers. Make sure you send this to a friend who's been stuck in the same cycle or would love this episode. Maybe you gained something from this and you think that your friend would too. Make sure you screenshot, post it to your Instagram story, tag me. I love to repost you guys. I love seeing how these episodes helped you, what you learned from them. And until next time, as usual, we will chat soon. Love you guys. So grateful for you. Bye.